Hey, Smarty Pants. When you have thousands of dollars in your savings accounts, not only can you sleep better at night, knowing that you can handle whatever life is going to throw at you, you can also enjoy your life more because you'll be able to live how you want to live, knowing you aren't going into debt. And the crazy thing is, getting thousands of dollars into your savings accounts when you make more than a living wage is totally doable. If you work with your emotions instead of against them, you can actually make saving pleasurable so that you want to do it more. And when you want to do it, then you can automate the rest. It's got way less to do with being restrictive and like not allowing yourself to enjoy your life, and a lot more to do with making savings more fun and setting up a system that will do the work for you. So having a system that makes it fun and easy to save really small amounts consistently over time, those little deposits make thousands of dollars. It's like your money is making baby money. Mommy and daddy money making baby money. I mean, if you like financial insomnia or overpaying like thousands of dollars in interest, then this video is not for you. This is not the droid you are looking for. However, if you're ready to set up your savings account so you can enjoy saving money, so it's easy, so you can get thousands of dollars in the bank seemingly effortlessly, so you can just enjoy your life, keep watching. Because in this video, I'm going to show you some psychological tricks to make saving more fun. And then I'm also going to show you like the nuts and bolts of setting up your savings accounts so that you'll be able to reach your goals. At the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 steps to setting up your accounts. Be sure to watch through to the end. I'm Kate, the Money Librarian. If you want to know you're doing what's right with your money, but don't really trust financial gurus, you are in the right place. Last week, I told you about the 4 savings accounts I think everyone should have, so that way you can save more, spend without guilt, and sleep well. If you haven't seen that video, well, after this one is done, go watch that one. Of course, personal finance is personal. This is educational and informational. Consult a financial professional to find out what is best for you before making any moves with your own money. All right, let's get into some fun stuff. Psychological tricks to make saving more fun. Here are a couple of rules. First off, naming your savings accounts is absolutely everything. No one wants to save for emergencies. That's like a down payment on badness occurring, which is an illogical thing to save for, right? Like, I don't want bad things to happen to me. Why am I putting money away for when bad things happen to me? A trick I came up with to make saving for emergencies fun, to make you want to put that money aside for when, not if, something bad happens to you, is to name your emergency fund after your favorite superhero because it's here to save the day. So me, I don't want to put money aside for like getting fired or having a major medical emergency. Who does? But a Buffy fund? Like, heck yeah, she saved the world a lot. Now, instead of it feeling like a chore, like I'm saving money for something bad to happen to me, I actually feel like I'm putting a down payment on having a superhero come into my life and rescue me. Some other great ideas with naming your emergency fund, and I didn't come up with these. These are things that you will find in the personal finance world, and because I don't want YouTube to scold my channel, I'm going to say, let's call it an F-off fund or an F-you fund or an F-it fund. The point is to make savings fun, to make it something that you want to do. If you giggle, if you smile, if you laugh every time you open up that bank app, you've named it correctly. Another psychological trick is to save first, ask questions later. A huge mistake I see people do over and over with their money is they wait to the end of the month to see how much is left over, and then they save. What? So this is a great way to have no money left over in savings and to feel very exposed to life's whims, to lose sleep at night because you don't have any money in savings. It's also a great way to get into debt because you don't have any money in savings for when, not if, something happens to you. So a trick that works for so many people is to get that money out of your checking account as soon as it hits your checking account. Frankly, a way to make this way easy is a lot of employers offer to split up your check. So they'll always put a certain amount of your paycheck into a savings account for you. You just have to let them know. Because when you don't have your money in your checking account, you won't spend it. Plus, if your money is going into fun accounts like Bali 2026 or Tell Boss Man to F off or Car That Never Fails, you're going to be pretty happy about seeing the money go from your checking account to those savings accounts. You're going to be happy watching those savings accounts go up and up and up every single month. And if you want some quick tips to save more, stress less, get financially confident, I do have my 24 easy money moves link in the description. The third psychological trick is you need to save when it makes sense for you. Often in personal finance, we go month by month by month. That's just easy, but a month is a long time for our little chimpy brains to really comprehend, especially financially. What works better for many is to save smaller amounts, but more frequently. If your goal is to have $3,000 saved by the end of the year, that's easy math. That's $250 a month. But maybe for you, you're like, ooh, $250 a month. That sounds like a lot of money. Whereas $58 a week doesn't. But that's actually the same amount of money. Technically, you would have more money. You'd have over $3,000 at the end of the year. So consider saving smaller amounts more frequently. As well as saving smaller amounts more frequently, lots of people find it easiest that whenever they get paid, just to move the money right over, get that money out of their checking account. Everybody's life is different. Do what works for you. You can make hundreds of dollars more per year just by putting your money into the right kind of savings account with a great interest rate. Interest at the banks, I recommend, will get you $450 a year on every $10,000 in there. Your local bank is probably giving you $45 a year for that same $10,000. So why on earth would you let it just languish in a local bank when you could be making hundreds more per year doing nothing? Over the past couple decades, they've created high-yield savings accounts. These are basically online banks that don't have the overhead costs of brick-and-mortar banks, so they're able to offer you way higher interest than your standard brick-and-mortar bank. Because you will be earning so much more every month, psychologically, that is going to rev your engines. That's going to make you want to save more money. I don't have any affiliate links. Just be sure that they're FDIC insured. It also helps if they will allow you to have savings buckets. Again, watch my other video about the 4 savings accounts everyone should have. We'll do automatic deposits. And of course, a competitive interest rate. Right now, as I'm recording this at the beginning of March 2024, that'd be about 4.5%. Because you will be earning so much more every month, it just psychologically lights a fire under you to keep on saving because you're getting rewarded for doing the right thing. If you do only one thing based on watching this video, I want it to be this next step: automating transfers to your savings accounts. Because if you have to sit down every single week, so 52 times a year, or even if you just do it every month, 12 times a year, and manually transfer money to your savings accounts, occasionally you'll forget, or you'll not feel like doing it, or maybe you'll be like, maybe I'll put in a little bit less this month. Take it off your plate. Just do the automatic transfers. Let it run by itself. I mean, in my mind, this is like somebody saying, do you want me to make dinner for you every night? Like, yes, please. That would be awesome. I would love for somebody else to do all the work for me. Have the computers do the work for you. Your computers will move X amount of money from your checking to these savings accounts every so often. All the banks have different options for this, so you'll have to see what your bank offers. And that way, by doing nothing, you're still saving. Let's talk about the math. And by the way, this is like 3rd grade math, 4th grade math. I don't know how kids do the math these days, but it is very basic arithmetic. You got this. For your emergency fund, there are plenty of rules of thumb on how much to have. I like for people to have 6 to 12 months of required expenses. If you don't want to do that math, then aim for a quarter to a half a year of your take-home income. And look, it's going to take years for your emergency fund to reach that goal. Don't feel bad if you don't hit it within a few months. Literally, it will take years. But when you automate this stuff, you'll actually hit that goal faster than you realize. For saving for goals, for saving for maintenance, do some back of the envelope mathing to discover how much you'll need to put aside to reach whatever it is you know that you are saving for. It doesn't have to be perfect. Here's a done is better than perfect situation. Figure out what your goal is, figure out the amount of time between now and when you want to achieve that goal, and then divide your number by that. That is the amount of money that should be going to that savings account every single week. So you want to go to Bali in 2 years. Cool. Google some plane tickets. Figure out about how much it costs to get from wherever you are to Bali. Look for some hotel rooms, read some travel boards, whatever. Run some back of the envelope calculations. Let's say I've discovered my dream trip to Bali is going to cost me $10,000 and I want to take this trip sometime in the fall of like 2026. Roughly 10 grand, roughly September 1st, 2026. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type into Google how many weeks between now and September 1st, 2026. Boom, done. I know it's 128 weeks. I can even use Google to do the calculations for me. So I'm going to say equals 10,000. So it's $10,000 divided by 128. Okay, I know I would need to save at least $78.125. I'm just going to round that up to $80 myself. I have to put away $80 every single week between now and September 1st, and I will have $10,000 to take my dream trip to Bali. For maintenance, the more things you own that you are in charge of that are expensive, the more you're going to need in that maintenance fund. So like if you own a car, if you have a house, if you have kids, if you have pets, if you've got another person in your household, depending on the situation, you're going to put a lot more into this maintenance fund than if it's just like you living in an apartment with a bike. Just figure out, what can I predict? What is coming up on the horizon that isn't an emergency? Come up with the best guess. Just make sure that you're filling it up a little bit so that you'll hit that goal within 2 to 3 years or so. Again, just like the emergency fund, this is probably a pretty high number, and it might take you a while to reach this. As for your random account, that's totally going to depend on your lifestyle and situation. I like for people to put at least $50 a month into it, but again, your lifestyle, your situation, if you're making $500,000 a year, I imagine $50 a month is pocket change. You lose that in the couch cushion. You're going to add up those numbers. Again, if there is a due date, then use Google to figure out how many weeks, how many months are between you and the due date. Divide it by the amount of money you want to save. So if you want to have $6,000 in travel fund in 1 year and you divide that by 12, you'll be like, okay, 500. I need to put $500 into my travel account every single month. And I know I can hear you guys being like, oh my God, Kate, that sounds so expensive. But what a lot of people are doing right now is buying all this stuff on credit and then paying interest on that. Like, that is actually way more expensive. Paying 28% interest on your $5,000 trip, whew, that is an expensive trip. So think of it more like prepaying for stuff at cost instead of post-paying with heavy interest. If you're ready to have thousands in your savings so you can sleep well, spend guilt-free, and avoid credit card debt, here are your next steps. Step 1, determine what savings accounts you want to have. Again, watch that other video. Step 2, research and then open a high-yield savings account. Step 3, rename each account for what it's for. Step 4, set up those auto deposits. And when you're setting them up, you can do them for just a tiny, tiny amount. And then step 5, math out how much you should save and update the auto deposits. Those are your 5 steps to saving thousands of dollars joyfully every single year. Let me know in the comments what you have done that really helped you save a ton more money. I mean, other than like increasing your income, obviously that's going to help a lot. But any psychological tricks, any automations, what really worked for you? That way we can all learn from our shared experiences. Cheers.